Boom. Guys, you read the title. Real untapped potential awaits you. Real untapped potential awaits you. And one big facet that I have discovered in my life is that a genuine burning desire can truly be accomplished through semen retention. Now, I'm not saying you can't achieve this state without it, but what I am saying is that this is an incredible tool. And what I've realized in my own life, and for those of you out there wanting something more, okay? And a lot of us want more. A lot of us want a life that we desire. A lot of us want a dream reality, okay? And as I'm sitting here in my car waiting for it to heat up in here, this is how cold it is, guys. This is how cold it is. It's freezing, okay? As I'm sitting in here waiting for my car to heat up, and we're on the move today, okay? Nothing is stopping this train from continuing to move. Real quick disclaimer, movement is powerful. You guys need to get out there and just move, and it can be small. It doesn't have to be some big deal for you to move. And I'm not talking just physical movement, but you need motion. You need to go start making the money. You need to go start taking the chances. You just need motion, okay? Especially in these freezing cold times. But what I'm talking about is today is your potential is awaiting on semen retention. Your true untapped ceiling that you can get to and achieve incredible things awaits you on the other side of this journey. And when you truly have this feeling, when you truly have this momentum, this sort of unshakable knowing that I'm going to reach whatever it is that I need to reach. No amount of setbacks is going to hold me back, okay? Realize that when you are on semen retention, it is full speed ahead. There's no blocks, okay? The universe is conspiring with you in your nutsack to achieve the greatest things imaginable. Wow, this thing is making noises over here, but no distractions. The universe is with you on semen retention and will open doors you cannot even imagine, but you do need to be in motion. One sort of psychological aspect that I wanted to hit in this video, and maybe some of you can relate to this, I don't know who needs to hear this, but this was on my heart, and one of my deeper core psychological wounds is the idea of not being good enough, okay? And for the longest time, I was actually attracted to the semen retention practice, initially hearing about all the benefits online, initially hearing about these things and thinking, well, if all of this is true and I start practicing this practice, of course I'm going to start attracting women. And of course I did. And of course I started attracting women into my life. And then I would hear more about this practice. Of course I'm going to level up, mentally, my memory improved, my confidence improved, my charisma improved, which of course opened doors for me in a lot of different ways. And the list goes on and on. But ultimately, as I sit back and reflect on sort of my whole journey and think about maybe my motivation behind practicing semen retention and bettering my life and sort of always having a growth mindset, it was always to get the validation from other people. It was always to be accepted. It was always to get the girl. It was always to do it for something outside of myself. And if you can relate to this, and I do have a feeling that many of you can, and this doesn't even have to be semen retention related here, guys, This is just life in general. Don't get me wrong, like doing these things and bettering yourself for other people, or for you to be accepted or for you to be validated, it's not the worst thing in the world, okay? I'm not demonizing improving yourself because you want to be validated, but I will say is that I'm starting to realize the cycles that I have become victim to because of this mentality. You are no longer acting from an actual grounded masculine energy when you are seeking the validation from others, okay? You're going on this journey. You're doing whatever it takes to make more money. You're doing whatever it takes to improve your education to ultimately make more money. But internally, you're doing all of it seeking reassurance from the people in your life, seeking validation from the people in your life, just so that you can feel like you're good enough, or just so that you can attract that girl. What I'm saying is that it doesn't actually all click, in my opinion, until truly, and you cannot fake this. You cannot fake this energy. It does not click until you actually realize that you're doing it for yourself. And not, it's not a realization, it's an actual shift in energy that you start to realize, I want to build this life for me. I want to build this life for my experience. And the girl can come along on this journey with me. But if she doesn't, it doesn't really matter, okay? Because I know that I've always been acting out of my best interest. I've always been moving towards whatever it is that I want for the betterment of me. Not to impress the family, not to impress the girl, not to make the more money so ultimately you feel more validated. When you are operating from this place of true driven masculine direction, which semen retention will help you get there, and that is a fact. When you are operating from this place, you are a powerful force in this game. And of course, circumstances will present themselves. Maybe women will come along and distract you. And I'm not saying that women are a distraction, but I am saying that if you let yourself be swayed by some other person, if you let yourself be thrown off your axis, and you reroute your life, or you start thinking a different way about your core principles. Now, of course, you can keep an open mind. Of course. And I'm very open-minded. And I'm always learning. And I'm always progressing. And I am a person who truly believes that I am never stuck in any one way of thinking. And I never have to take it to the grave. I will never, fight for someone to agree with me about any one thing. I am stating my opinion currently at this exact moment, and that is that. So I'm not telling you to be stubborn, but what I am saying is that if you are letting outside energies or circumstances or people or experiences truly dictate your direction or what you're headed or where you're headed or what you see your life becoming, this is a sign that maybe you have a core wound of not feeling good enough. Realize that when you step into that authenticity, when you step into that version of yourself that can no longer be moved, no matter what they say, this axis is strong. No matter what they have to say, because you know what you stand for. It's a beautiful thing to be quick to leave. Okay, if you see circumstances in your life, you've seen this play out 1,000 times. Think about the woman who is physically abused by a man in a relationship, who keeps going back. And in your head, you think, why? Why do you continue to put yourself through this pain? Why do you continue to stay around this person who is literally inflicting physical pain on you? It is the core wound of not being good enough. When you operate from a grounded place of truly knowing your worth, knowing you are good enough, and you do deserve the great things, you do deserve the great love, you do deserve the great partner, you can walk away from anything at the drop of a hat. Oh, that's how you really feel about me? Bye. Okay. Bye. I'm removing myself. Because I know that my path, all I really need, okay, is my direction. The amazing connections are gonna be there. The amazing experiences are gonna be there. I know it for certain. And I don't necessarily need people along my journey to reach it. And now, this may sound like I'm telling you to drop all your friends, drop the women in your life, whatever. That's not at all what I'm telling you. Of course, you're going to have connections. Of course, when you're on semen retention and you're very driven, there will also be people who fall out of your life because you sort of act as a mirror in their life, and they see you doing the work. They see you driven. They see you turning down the hangouts. They see you focused. Okay, they aren't going to want to be around that because it activates something in them. They begin to get insecure. And that's okay. You continue on the path because you know where you're headed. And you know you deserve the best. So hopefully this message finds the right ears. Peace.